So I feel called to talk about narcissists and how to deal with them or recognize them, whatever the fuck the case may be. I've came across a lot of videos from Dr. Ramani on YouTube that have been helping me try to understand a little bit more of what I'm going through at this current moment in time, because I'm confused. And she basically was making it clear to me that the only reason, bitch, why you confused is because you didn't know. And now that you know, what are you going to do about it? And it's so crazy that I've came across these videos because I've already made my decision. My decision has been made for a very long time, and I'm just now acting on it a year and a half later. It's one of those things where it's like, why did I stay for so long when I knew, one, this person was not what I wanted? I would constantly battle myself on a daily basis, as to why I was even involved with this person, because it's one of the things where it was not benefiting me was emotionally, and it was draining me mentally. Physically, I've remained the same. And verbally, I've learned through this experience how to decipher certain energies. And it's funny that I'm speaking on this now, because after me walking away from this particular situation, I came across another person who kind of started off the same way, but I noticed it immediately. And because I noticed it immediately, I got out of it immediately. I don't know how else to say that. I don't like this angle. So I guess it's just now, like, I don't know, I feel compelled to, like, talk about it. Like, I don't mind talking about it. It's something that I've healed through, for real. And it's crazy to say that I've healed through it, because I didn't even realize that's what I was doing. This whole time was I was healing while I was actually in the situation. And that's not something that a lot of people are able to do, based on things that I've read, based on things that I've seen. And I'm really just, I don't know. Now that I see everything for what it is, I really am at a loss for words, more so for myself, because I pride myself in being a person who is very well aware of what's going on around them. And it's so crazy for me to experience this when, bitch, you were very well aware of what was going on. You just, I don't know. I guess I was at a point where I was like, well, as long as I know I'm doing the right thing, as long as I know for a fact I'm clear coat, understand, being understood by this other person, that what they're doing really does not affect me, until it did. And I'm only going to say it affected me because at the end of it, I just couldn't figure out why this particular person would want to still be in my energy or surround himself with me if he felt certain ways about me. Because it's like, how can you sit in my face and tell me one thing, but everybody else you tell something different? And one of the things that made it very clear cut that this person is a fucking narcissist, because one, his mother is a narcissist, and I've made it very clear to her on multiple occasions that she is a narcissist. And it's really unfortunate, because this particular person has a degree in the mental health field. So it's really crazy for me to know and to see that, you know, people who are meant to help us are the same people who are enabling such behaviors that negatively impact other people's lives. Being as though I currently work in a mental health field, it's really freeing for me to know that I'm in a place where I have learned the necessary skills to get out of certain situations, because I come in contact with these type of things on a daily basis. So it's like, you can't play a player type of thing, because it'll only go for so long. It'll only go for so long. I don't know. I'm gonna come back and speak more on it, but I just wanted to get that off my chest right now because it's on my brain. And like when stuff is on my brain, one of my favorite things to do is write it down and talk it out. And because I'm working right now, I don't have time to write it out. And I really don't want it on paper. Like, I'm at a point in my life where, not even I'm at a point in my life. I've always been the type of person to want to help people. But one thing about me wanting to help people is that I like to isolate myself a lot because I know for a fact that when I'm around people, I pick up on their energy like this. So it's like I can't put myself in spaces with a lot of people because I feel everything. It's one of the craziest things in the world, and it's even more crazier because I thought I was crazy because I was feeling these things, and I'm not. I'm not the only one who has went through these things or who goes through these things. Good morning, who is it? So it's just like, what do you do now? Like, I don't know. And it's so crazy that I'm at this junction because I was here in this place about 1.5 years ago, but just not with the knowledge. So it's like I knew I felt something, but I didn't know why I felt it. So it's like now that I know the why. What's up? What's poppin'? So it's just like, what do I do now? And now I want to speak about it. I want to get it off my chest, because I'm actively not in therapy at this moment in my life. I honestly feel as though I do not need it, and here's why. I've been in therapy since elementary school, probably like 2nd grade up until high school, up until like my 9th or 10th grade of high school. So like I have the skills under my belt. It's just that I had the skills, but like I said, I didn't have the experience. So it's like I didn't really get to use that information until now. But it's like life, you're going to keep learning stuff because it's like, oh, I had the skills, but I didn't know what I was up against. I really didn't. And that's one of the things that narcissists are really good at doing. You don't know what you're up against until it's right in your fucking face. And I'm not here to bash this man or anything of that nature. That's never my intentions. But one thing I will say is this. I won't talk about you if you don't talk about me. I'm that type of person. So, I made it very clear to this person, like, you have expressed to me multiple times that you know what you did was wrong. And I have it in writing, voice recordings, verbally, you've even said it. I have cameras in my house. If I really wanted to, I can go back and pull all of this shit. But it's just like, why? Because it's like, it's over and done with. So, best thing I can do is speak my piece and move on. And continue to move on, since everybody think that for some odd reason I'm still feeling a way about this man. And it's just like, no, I don't. I'm really more disgusted by his behavior more than anything because I know that you're aware of the stuff that you're doing and you're purposely doing it to other people. And it's really one of those things where it's like, I would love to expose, but one thing about narcissists that I've learned is that exposing them really does nothing but feed their ego. And it feeds their ego because at that point they think that they still have some type of power over you. So the best thing to do is just be quiet. And I want to say this. I have done the be quiet thing multiple times, and every time that I've done that, I will say he did not like it. There was a particular incident where we were separated, me and this narcissist, unknown narcissist at the time. We were separated. And I was dealing with a new person because I was at a point in my life where I was like, I don't want to be treated like this by this man. So I don't care how I feel. I don't care if it's a relationship that I'm willing to save. I'm going to move on. And that's what I did. And I moved on. He found out about it. He saw it. And probably like a week, 2 weeks later, he was in my DM asking for forgiveness. And my dumb ass gave it to him, but with stipulations. Boundaries. And this is all happening while I don't even know I'm dealing with a narcissist. So like, it's just mind blowing to me that I really did this with no knowledge at all until the end. I'm just, wow. He saw it. He expressed some things to me. And at the time, I didn't really understand why, per se, because I was just like, I thought you said this. I thought you said you didn't care whether or not I moved on. But my thing is, you did care. You just cared about them being better than you. And like a female did, I told him what the fuck it was and what the fuck it wasn't. And I let him know straight up, like, if things went well between me and the other person, you would be out of the picture. And girl, when I say he lit the fuck up on me, it was like the end of the world. And I just could not understand why he was so upset about it. But I feel as though now he was so upset about it is because I was openly moving on and he was doing a lot of stuff behind closed doors. A lot of this stuff I now know led to a lot of health concerns that at the time I knew something was off, but I just didn't know why it was off, because one of the things was I really was not invested in him enough to care about what he was going through, whether he was on his deathbed or not. I was at a point where I was indifferent on anything that happened to this man, good or bad. You know, I didn't have an opinion. I really didn't have any words. I'm one of those type of people where karma's a bitch, and that bitch may be beautiful sometimes, you know? So, you know, you take that as you please. But it was just, I don't know. I think I don't know how to feel. I feel good because I seen everything for what it was clear today. And I did not allow it to change who I am as a person. I've always stood my ground while dealing with this person, and I think that's one of the things that drove them to push me over the edge. And that's fine, because you know what they say, like, sometimes the trash takes its own self out. Yeah, that's exactly what happened. And it's like, even though the trash took itself out, I don't think that's what the trash really wanted to do. And here's why. If you were so hell-bent on never having anything to do with me ever again in your life, right? Why would you make it so hard for me to walk away? Because my logic is this. If I don't want anything to do with this person and I have certain obligations with said person, I'm going to give you everything you want and need so you can get the fuck away from me. And that's facts. Because once everything is out on the table, there's nothing else for you to say, right? Right. Okay. So, you know, now that I've purposely ended things a certain way, I just hope and pray that he really does stay away from me, because it's a lot of things I never play with you about. It's like, but yeah, it's no, for real, it's a lot of things I would never play with that man about. So it's like, for you to try and flip the roles as if I was not the one taking care of you. I was not the one making sure you were okay, and for you to treat me like this is really absurd. But it's like, it's really not me, because one of the things that he would always say to me, and I would never understand why, because he would make it so obvious to me that I am number one. And I never believed that, because in order for you to be number one, there has to be a number two, right? Because why do you have to tell me that I'm number one? Why do you have to tell me I'm number one, you know? So it's like, I started picking up on a lot of things quickly, because I'm the type of person who just pick up on vibes. And I guess, well, not even I guess, I now know that when narcissists know that you know, they do everything in their power to break you down. So, with that being said, because I know that, and while I was dealing with this person, I also knew that there are some things that transpired where he will always throw me under the bus. Hello? Okay. One of the things that, what was it? I forgot where I was at.